fucking long time. And by we, I mean Deidre's not here. And let the whole internet join in a sad cry, because Deidre is not here.
Yeah.
Oh, where's Dee?
Deidre is probably fucking sleeping like normal people.
True.
But, unlike normal people, we watched Extreme Rules, which turned out to not be that bad.
Yeah. Very good.
I thought it was going to be terrible, considering that I didn't even know it was tonight until like an hour before the show.
Yeah. Which is the sign of such great build-up, is that you forget what day the show was.
How many I only knew of 3 matches, which were maybe 4. I knew of the Brock Lesnar match, both title matches, and the women's title. I didn't know about any of the other fucking matches. Johnny Thunder had to tell me.
I know about 4 of the matches. The 2 title matches, Randy Orton versus Kane, and
Cody Rhodes versus Big Show I knew about, but we didn't know the stipulation.
Yeah. Oh, no, I knew about Lesnar and Cena, and Randy Orton and Kane in the 2 title matches. I didn't know about I forgot about Cody versus Big Show, and I didn't know about any of the other matches.
I just have to add, I don't think anybody can hear it in the background, but I can. That sounds like the most adorable kitten on the planet.
Yeah, that's all she does is meow.
Meow. It's awesome.
You can just hear it in the background. Meow.
Yeah.
Meow. Anyways, what was the first match? Anyone?
Randy Orton versus Kane.
Not counting the fucking Miz. Hang on, I want to talk about the Miz being in the dark shit match. Guy is headlining fucking Mania a year ago or 2 years ago, and now he's in a fucking dark match for the U.S. title.
Yeah. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Goodness gracious. I don't even know what to make of Miz's career at this point. He actually seemed like he was about to make a bit of a comeback at Mania, but it's just become very, very apparent that they don't know what to do with the guy, which is a shame because I really do think that he could work as either a face or a heel, but he's just such an unforgivable douchebag that you kind of have to keep him heel at the moment because WWE I don't think knows how to write faces. Although I think he could make a face run somehow. You just give him the stick. He's gold on the mic, and being that his story is infinitely more inspirational than Cena's, who's portrayed as the underdog. This guy was a reality TV star who went on to become a WWE superstar. That's awesome. And he's just your average guy, and he made it in the WWE. That's pretty cool, and I think that WWE could use that, but now he's jobbing to the Cobra in the dark match. It's kind of a shame.
At least we assume he's jobbing to the Cobra, because no one saw the fucking match, because it was a dark match.
Well, they showed a clip of it. So, I mean,
yeah, it was on YouTube.
Oh, it was?
Yeah,
fuck
it was on
I knew.
WWE.com.
Oh, I'll have to go check that out. Not that it matters.
Exactly.
Alright, so, real first match.
Randy Orton versus Kane. Falls Count Anywhere match.
I wasn't into this match.
You weren't yet? Okay, I think I sent you the text message that said that, the match hadn't even started yet and I was already bored.
Yeah, I don't know. Randy Orton versus Kane just is not the most appealing match on paper. But I'll say this: at Mania, although a lot of their heat was stolen with Daniel Bryan getting knocked out in 18 seconds, that was a terrible decision in terms of just the short term because Randy Orton versus Kane, hardly anyone was paying attention to it, but they worked a pretty good match. And Here, I honestly thought that they worked an interesting match for as long as it was. It dragged on for too long, I'll say that, but it was a decent match.
It had a decent little spot when they went backstage and they busted into the room that all the wrestlers were watching, and Zack Ryder started jumping in.
Yeah, and doing next to nothing, and then yeah.
Just an excuse to get Zack Ryder on TV for 4 seconds.
I'm sorry. Let's call a spade a spade. This feud is retarded. It is a feud based on the fact that a little bit more than a year ago, Randy Orton and Kane had a match, And Kane shook Randy Orton's hand, and it made him feel weird. That's the whole basis of the feud.
Yeah. I honestly didn't think that it could be a step down from Jericho spilling coffee on Kane and that launching a feud.
I'm sorry, champ. Did that burn you? Burn me?
Burn you? Exactly. Oh, man.
Or wasn't there a feud where Cena spilled Punk's Pepsi?
Yeah, he spilled my diet soda.
That's my soda. That's my soda.
Retarded ways to start a feud.
The one thing I can say, though, that I didn't get me is, what is the point of a Falls Count Anywhere match if it ends in the ring?
True.
Well, swerves is what it is.
It's
like
like
swerve, man.
It's supposed to be a Falls Count Anywhere match, so it ends in the ring.
And anyway, is the ring not anywhere?
Technically, yes.
Technically, yes. Therefore, it can end in the ring.
Yeah, but like every match ends in the ring.
Yeah, you want it to end somewhere else.
Let it end in like the popcorn stand or something. That would be funny.
Okay. So it winds up being meaningless. You know. So what? That's it still counts.
I agree with you, but it makes the stipulation pointless.
No, but you have to expect this. The last place you would have expected it to end.
In the ring.
No, because every Falls Count Anywhere match ends in the ring nowadays.
Well, we have more to talk about with the different match stipulations.
Yeah.
What's the next match? Oh, by the way, Randy Orton won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot already that he won.
That's how important it was.
Won. Anyway.
Next was Brodus Clay against Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, I didn't. Why? Really? This is Dolph Ziggler's match at the pay-per-view. This guy's gonna be a star someday, and he's fighting Brodus Clay in a match that isn't even fucking announced until that night.
Until like 5 seconds before it happens.
Until they just walk out in the ring and you're like, oh, okay, I guess this match is gonna happen.
Honestly, I really do hope that that this kid becomes a star. I hope he becomes a star with a different character, because Dolph Ziggler is absolutely one of the worst characters in the WWE right now. And it's a shame, because the kid has so much skill, so much talent. But they decide to make him. But they decide to make him a Billy Gunn ripoff. That's a shame. I get it. I know that a lot of people really do like it, and I apologize to them. But you know, that's just my opinion. You know, right now he's coming out shaking his ass, wearing a pink thing. You know, and all I can think of is he's an ass man. That's about it. But you know what? Dolph Ziggler, incredibly talented in the ring, one of the best sellers in the WWE, and now he's But then he got squashed by freaking Funkasaurus
Yeah.
Oh, you know what we totally forgot to do? Everybody on the fucking channel, Crossfade Fan 20 and myself the third.
Yeah, hi.
In case it's like, in case nobody knows who the fuck anyone is.
Yeah.
Brett's been on my channel before.
I've been on it numerous times.
I believe this is my first time, isn't it?
This is the first time on the enormously popular Black Cat Feline channel, and by enormously popular I mean like 200 people.
Yes, I have made it. The boyhood dream has come true.
All right, what the fuck was next?
For those of you who don't know who I am, if you watch the Adventures in Miami video...
Oh, yeah, he is in that.
I'm the fat guy in the white tank top.
It's styling and profiling.
I think we all have Twitter here. I think I might go ahead and put everybody's Twitter down in the description if you want to follow these two guys.
Right on.
Or me.
There you go.
I actually do tweet during Raw and pay-per-views when I watch them.
Yeah, I just tweet whenever. I don't even care. I'm just sort of... I'm consistent in my inconsistency. Anyhow.
Next match.
The next match was tables match. Big Show versus Cody Rhodes for the Intercontinental Championship.
I missed most of this match, but that ending I thought was awesome.
That was the greatest ending ever, because it set it up with Big Show saying, "Good luck putting me through a table." And it was like the luckiest table break ever. It's like, my friend is like, I don't think that was the planned ending. I'm like, that's exactly the planned planned ending of that match, because how else would he have gotten Big Show through a table?
That was great. It was just great because his foot went through the table and everything kind of paused for a second like, does that fucking count? Did that fucking count?
Yeah, and that's sort of the thing, because this question came up during Sheamus versus Cena at, what was it, TLC a few years back? I'm thinking it was 2009.
That sounds about right.
The same question came up then. Is it the I thought it was the first person to put somebody through the table, as opposed to somebody going through a table on their own accord. Which I don't know if that's the rule now. It's like if you go through a table, that's it. Hey,
don't have that kind of logic. You'll hurt your brain.
Okay. I know. Think good. That was good.
WWE doesn't care about that shit.
I know, but I do, and I don't know.
Just like when we eventually get to the WWE title match, when we talk about that, how a Chicago street fight is apparently basically no DQ in regular clothing.
Yeah, it's but wrestling boots.
and wrestling boots and knee pads. Which you
very accurately pointed out. But yeah, you know what? For what it was, I think that the right person went over, and if we're gonna have this feud continue, it'll be interesting to see how it goes. But all in all, I think the Big Show. I'm not sure how Big Show and Cody really like each other, but if Big Show knows what's right for the business, he'll put Cody over one way or another, because the kid has such a bright future ahead of him.
Yeah, Cody's the future.
Which is funny, because when they were in Legacy, I could have sworn everyone thought that Ted DiBiase Jr. was going to be the future.
I just didn't. I don't know.
I thought it was going to be Ted.
I didn't really think that either of them really had a future, but I'll be honest with you, Cody Rhodes, he impressed me with how fast he was. It was it really was he's probably the fastest guy in the WWE, and I mean, he's nowhere near as fast as a guy like Masato Yoshino, but dude can friggin' run like crazy. He runs the ropes.
Look at this guy just throwing all these fucking names that we don't know out here.
Well, Masato Yoshino is the guy in Dragon Gate, and you just watch him. Just look at guy can run the ropes like no one's business. But
Brett, any closing thoughts about this match?
Just so happy that Cody won, and just you know me, that I was so pissed off that Cody lost at Mania.
You knew he was going to, though.
I knew he was going to lose, but I was just still so pissed off, and just happy he got his title back.
Why did Big Show need the IC title anyways?
He didn't.
He didn't need it.
Yeah.
Other than to win all of the titles in WWE.
Was that it? Oh yeah, he was a U.S. champion, tag team champion.
Yeah, he's a Grand Slam champion.
How about? Yeah, it's that is definitely a thing.
All right, next match.
Pull it up.
I had it. Next was Sheamus and Daniel Bryan, 2 out of 3 falls.
I thought this match was going to be terrible, but it was actually pretty good.
The ending obviously pissed me off.
Yeah, I really wanted Daniel Bryan to win, but I'm still just comparing it in my head to the WrestleMania non-match that they had.
18 seconds.
And if they would have if we would have gotten even part of this match at WrestleMania, I wouldn't have even cared if Daniel Bryan lost.
Exactly.
I really thought AJ was going to come out at some point. But she didn't.
I think that would have been an interesting character development if they had AJ come out, interfere, and have Daniel Bryan win, because the guy is one of the most over people in the WWE right now, and I'm pretty sure that those no chants were piped in, because nearly everyone was chanting yes for Daniel Bryan. I mean, even when you have the canned heat for on SmackDown for Daniel Bryan, almost everyone is that whole yes thing. You hardly see anyone booing. And yes, they did sort of show the support for Sheamus. I think they showed the 2 signs in the building for Sheamus on his entrance. But it was interesting in that they actually put on a very good match. We were expecting Daniel Bryan to carry the thing, and I think that he did very, very well. He put on a good match, made Sheamus look strong, and this is the match they should have had at WrestleMania to begin with. Except maybe throw in that WrestleMania moment where something absolutely crazy happens, and that immortalizes Sheamus. That's the sort of thing that you should have had, as opposed to some 18-second squash, which will likely be brought up in a clinic on how not to book a wrestling match with the guy who's considered among the best workers in the world.
Exactly.
I don't know.
It was a funny, okay, Sheamus wins the first fall by disqualification, and then Daniel Bryan, I'm like, when he wins the first fall, I'm like, Sheamus is winning. I knew it right then and there.
Yeah, but
the
think
first
about
fall
that.
usually wins the match.
Doesn't that make Daniel Bryan kind of look like a Banff? A badass motherfucker, for those who don't know the abbreviation? Because he essentially gave Sheamus that first fall. He gave it to him. Just because he wanted to beat him up. And then he made him pass out at one point.
He's like, you can have the first fall. I'm going to kick your ass.
But even so, you still have Sheamus looking near invincible because he never tapped or whatever. So, you got to say, it's sort of like with the finish with Hart and Austin.
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
where
it was in Chicago.
What else? I don't know. I was waiting for it, and it didn't happen. I really wanted... They showed AJ right before Daniel Bryan came out, and I thought that, why did that fucking happen if she didn't come out? They could have gone two ways with this. She could have come out, helped Sheamus win, distracted Daniel Bryan, Sheamus wins, and then she kind of gets her revenge, and it kind of moves her out of this storyline, because I got my revenge. Or she comes out, helps Daniel Bryan win, actually turns heel, because she's been the face in their little couple, actually turns heel, and then they get back together.
Yeah, that should have been the way it should have been done. Was she turns heel with him, and it was him breaking up was all a ruse all along, just to help him get the belt back. That made him look weak.
I thought of something a little more unconventional. If any of you guys remember Batman the Animated Series, the whole dynamic between Joker and Harley Quinn, what if you had something like that going on, where Joker is where Joker would do all these masterful schemes or whatever, and Harley Quinn tries to win his romance, but never really does that. But he sort of keeps her around because she's useful. That sort of thing. What if you did that with Daniel Bryan and AJ? I thought that would have been a really good dynamic. It shows that you're not just pulling out the same recycled storylines. And quite frankly, I think it would have been a little more interesting. But the thing is that it would have been more challenging for WWE creative. And Lord knows that they're probably one of the laziest fuckers on earth. So, or some of them, rather, plural. So, I don't know. I think both of these guys look strong in the match, so I can't really complain. Daniel Bryan can go on to do something else if he's not going to compete for the belt. So, it'll be interesting to see what he does. As for Sheamus, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Brett, any final thoughts before we move on? That just explains it all.
That's pretty much it.
I rest my case.
That pretty much says it all. Moving on.
Next was Ryback versus Jobber 1 and Jobber 2.
I thought that RVD had returned and lost all of his hair.
And hit the roids big time.
He kind of looked like a weird combination of RVD and Goldberg.
Yeah, I keep thinking though, his mannerisms, he looks like Goldberg. He stole RVD's tights, and yet his mannerisms sort of mimic the Ultimate Warrior. What? Think about it. With the moving the arms up and down. I'm trying to think of the craziest promo line. You can feel it too. You can feel it. Sort of doing that sort of thing. I want him to full-on channel the Ultimate Warrior in his promos. Like, just say the craziest shit you could possibly can. Like, how do you prepare yourself for me, Mark Henry? Should I shave my head and steal RVD's tights? Should I go out and squash jobbers while two people who have nothing to do with the match look on in the television? It's time for a good old-fashioned squash match.
I totally forgot about that.
Squash match with the Ultimate Warrior, brother.
Why were Santino? I just realized that. Why was Santino Marella and Great Khali watching that match? There was no reason for that shit.
Well, okay, it started off. You had the two jobbers cutting that.
You had the two nobodies that fucking talk. Why did they talk?
Two are better than one. Two are better than one. It's like
I think that's the shtick. Shut up. I think that's the sort of the shtick with Ryback. They actually had the jobbers talk, and then they come out and get squashed.
So he doesn't have to talk.
Yeah, because quite frankly, Lord knows Skip Sheffield on the mic is about as pleasant as eating a cake made of razor blades. So,
as Boo Boo would say, yep. Well, it was funny that the first jobber that got in there, he was like so small, he made Evan Bourne look like Andre the Giant.
Honestly, the dude just had, he had no muscle mass. Like, my flabby ass had more muscle than him.
Dude, Hornswoggle was taller than that dude that Ryback squashed.
Really?
Alright, enough about Ryback.
Yeah.
Please.
Moving on.
Next, WWE Championship, Chicago Street Fight, CM Punk and Chris Jericho.
Okay, before we start this, I just want to get a little bit of a gripe out of the way. I'd also like to say that we're going on 22 minutes.
That's fine.
I would like to get a gripe out of the way, and I think myself the third here will agree with me, because we talked about it. It annoys the shit out of me that the WWE title match was in the middle of the show. It's the WWE title match, and it kind of seems like an afterthought.
And it would later become relevant why that was, because there was a big announcement having to do with arguably your biggest draw in the company. But at the same time, it just doesn't really make sense in terms of the prestige of the title. But at the same time, I think it's become apparent with WWE that money comes first, as opposed to prestige of titles, as opposed to keeping up the farce that your titles actually mean something. So we know what it is now. But
I know, it still pisses me off, though. But whatever, it was still a great match. Again, I'm not quite sure what made this a street fight, other than the fact that they were wrestling in jeans.
And they had weapons.
Yes, and they had weapons.
There you go.
Here's a question. What's the difference between a street fight and an Extreme Rules match?
Street clothes.
Yeah, that's about the only difference.
Except for the fact that, I don't know, I've never been to Chicago, so I guess that in regular street clothes, people walk around in wrestling boots and knee pads.
And beat the crap out of each other with kendo sticks. We'll ask Johnny about that.
I sent Johnny a tweet saying if people wear knee pads and wrestling boots on the street.
I sent him a text and he didn't answer me.
Having visited Chicago last summer, I can attest to the fact that there are actually kendo stick dispensers on every corner in Chicago.
Are they a nickel each or 25 cents? How much would a kendo stick be in a dispensing? Now I'm just picturing a weird vending machine that has like a kendo stick and some sledgehammers, and if it's big enough, a chair,
fire extinguishers, and beer. But a kendo stick in this economy? I think it was $1.50.
Yeah, it'd have to be $1.50.
It's made of bamboo. It'll be okay.
Anyways.
Bamboo's cheap.
About the actual match.
Yes.
Really awesome. Had me on the edge of my seat. It was back and forth, and I really enjoyed it. It was obviously the match of the night. The crowd was into it, and as expected.
I fucking called the quote sister slapping Jericho.
Yeah.
As soon as they walked over there.
That was my one gripe about the match, was Punk's sister. If you wanted me to believe that was Punk's sister, have her call him by his real name throughout the match. Be like, go, Phil, go! Don't, call him by his character name.
Honestly, I know that a lot of wrestlers are really picky about that. If they just don't want to, if they don't want to break kayfabe in that sense, then I totally get that.
Well, I agree with that, but like I said, it would be his sister. She would she would be so like naive to be like, "Go, Phil, go."
I don't know. It's that is I definitely hear what you're saying, but I mean that just comes across as not being as big a deal to me. But yeah, I totally get what you're saying. It
was a minor gripe.
Yeah, I suppose so. But as for major things, it's definitely a match that you could relate to a little more than their WrestleMania match, because I think they were trying to do like a pro-style match with WrestleMania. With this, there's just a good old-fashioned street fight, something that we're more familiar with. So I think that people reacted to it a lot more. And in that sense, it was better. I think I enjoyed the Mania match a little bit more, but this definitely kept me interested, and I'd give it a high rating if I did star ratings.
Yeah, stars are overrated.
Yeah. I really, really enjoyed this match. I don't know what we do with the feud now after this. Is the feud just over? I don't see any reason, because, like, Punk beat him to be best in the world, essentially. Punk beat him now as revenge for just being a dick. So where does this leave Punk and Jericho?
I don't know. I think at this point, Punk moves on, and maybe Jericho gets, maybe they have one more match somehow, but that's how you get someone else involved. That's how you get someone into the title picture. And not sure who that would be yet, but it'll be interesting to see. Maybe Mark Henry.
Oh, God, no.
No.
I'm not saying I want
Don't
that.
even joke about that. Don't even joke about that.
I'll be honest with you, I do like Henry's character, but I don't like, I don't like watching him wrestle. But he does have a good character right now. And he doesn't injure half the mid-card, unlike Big Show, so.
Oh, that's true. Anyway, so, great match. Great WWE title match. I know what the next match is. 'Tis the Divas title match.
Because that's the one worth remembering.
Before the match started, there was a little backstage thing with Beth Phoenix. Apparently she's still hurt, but she said she was going to hobble out to the ring if she had to. Eve comes out, tells her, no, you're not medically cleared. Bellas think they're going to go home, get the night off. Eve tells them that, no, I have a mystery opponent for you guys, so go out to the fucking ring. And for some reason, myself the third here says, that's gonna be Layla. Why the fuck he would say that, I don't know. And then it's fucking Layla. Not even kidding you. And we found out Layla can actually maybe fucking wrestle.
Yeah.
She made Nikki Bella look legitimate, but, I mean, or whoever, well, yeah, Nikki.
Yeah, it was
like,
Nikki.
Even then, Nikki Bella pretty much delegitimized herself on her own, so. I mean, Layla can actually go, which is very surprising.
Bella 1, Bella 2.
Yeah, who the fuck knew that Layla could fucking wrestle? I mean, it wasn't amazing. I mean, we weren't watching like, as far as WWE goes, we weren't watching we weren't watching like Trish Stratus versus Lita in the main event or something of Raw. But
let's be fair. It's more like Trish Stratus versus Jackie Gata.
Exactly.
I don't know. Trish Stratus versus Lita in the main event of Raw is my favorite women's match. I will fucking admit that right now.
I know what you're talking about. And in terms of the rest of the Divas matches that we see lately, it was almost to that level, because this was actually a very good match. Like I would be very interested in seeing something like Layla versus Beth Phoenix, or Layla versus Tamina, something like that. I think that the Divas division is slowly building itself back up, but I still think it needs some fixing. I have my own ways of doing that, but that's not important. Layla's the Divas champion. Congratulations to her. Glad to have her back.
Yes. I have my own ways of fixing the Divas division too, but most of my ideas involve Karma actually killing people on TV, and then breaking the Divas title and giving everyone the finger and leaving. That'd be my way of fixing the Divas division, is to kill everyone.
that's borderline psychotic.
No, not really, because I kind of have the same opinion about something that we'll get to in a minute.
Well, so okay, so just because it's you're in the majority doesn't make you right. But honestly, if you had to ask me, I'd say you give the belt to Karma and leave the belt on her for 2 to 3 years. I'm not even kidding. You just build the division around her. Just keep signing talent. And even then, I think 3 years might not be enough.
I could go for that. But my plan's still a backup for her to just kill all of them.
Yes.
You enjoy that.
Well, no, there's a few of them I would keep. Like, I'd keep Natalya and Beth Phoenix. Apparently fucking Layla now.
Tamina.
Yeah,
I enjoyed
Tamina.
watching Tamina wrestle, but she needs to straighten out that splash. That is one of the sloppiest Superfly splashes in the history of mankind.
But yeah, that's about it. All the rest of them need to go. The Bella Twins don't do it for me. Neither does Kelly. Actually, I would keep Eve. I kind of like Eve. I mean, she's not by all means a very great wrestler at all, but I don't know, for some reason I like Eve.
You need your jobbers.
Yeah. And she's been doing a pretty good thing with this executive administrator shit.
I'll be honest with you. I think she's bland as hell, and I think that the only reason that she's anywhere in the WWE right now is obviously she's doing something with someone. That's all I'm gonna say. But I really don't think I still would not recognize Eve Torres like on the street because she's just that bland to me.
Well, everyone does have their opinions. I don't know. I like her for some reason.
Hey, you know, if you like her, hey, that's all good. We'll agree to disagree.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Anyways, Brett, last words. Divas match.
It's really good. I was surprised. Like I said, I was surprised with how well Layla wrestled, but I just was wishing for Karma.
Yeah, I was wishing for Karma too.
Absolutely.
And in fact, when she said it's not going to be Karma, I really thought it really was going to be Karma. It was like, it's not going to be Karma, but it's going to be Karma.
It's going to be Karma.
It's going to be awesome calm.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Jesus Christ.
All right. The piece de resistance. Brock Lesnar versus John Cena.
Yeah. Aren't you from Louisiana? You ought to know French. Lesnar, Cena, they made Lesnar look like a freaking beast. He absolutely destroyed Cena, messed him up big time. Pretty much did everything except actually tear him a new asshole. And then Cena hits an FU on the stairs. That's about his only offense, and he wins. So, okay.
I didn't like the ending. The rest of it was fine.
Yeah. The match was great. Like, he just beats the crap out of Cena and, like, oh, God, like, just, Brock Lesnar just beats the crap out of John Cena for, like, 50 minutes, or what seems like 50 minutes. And, I mean, it was a good 50 minutes. And I was just wishing, like, you know, Brock Lesnar would just go, like, okay, I'm going to just literally murder John Cena right here. Because, you know, just help rid the WWE of their problem. Just rid us of our problem and just murder Cena right here. And I don't think the Chicago PD would have, like, you know, charged him or anything. I think they would have just been, you know, clarified it as a justifiable homicide.
Brett does not like Cena at all.
Well, I don't like Cena. I just want him to go away for a little while, and apparently I'm going to get my wish.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, before we saw the little thing at the end, if they decide to keep this going, Cena wins tonight. If Cena won tonight, which he did, the storyline that I would think would happen from this is that before this match, Brock Lesnar's been a diva, been like, I'm only going to do it if you give me this, 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 and this. He only cares about himself. Whatever. Yeah. If Cena won this match, I think the storyline would have been that Brock Lesnar's like, now I just want to beat the fuck out of this guy because he has made me angry and beat me. So I don't care about all of that other shit now. And then he would just be fucking after Cena. But then we saw that little promo at the end. Does this mean Cena's disappearing for a while, or?
Yeah, because I was like, my thought was it should have been Brock Lesnar beats the crap out of John Cena and he gets written off of TV. He's hurt. He's got to disappear for, 6 months to go film, like some crappy movies that only 12-year-olds and fat chicks will watch.
Hey! I am not fat.
Yes, you are not fat.
Okay, that's a good line. I'm not gonna lie.
I will totally watch. If there's a Marine 3 and John Cena's in it, I'll fucking watch it. Why? Because he's most likely gonna be sweaty and have his shirt off.
I have to clarify myself because I do own 2 John Cena movies.
Oh, yeah, and the truth is revealed.
Only because they're filmed in New Orleans.
We need to balance out the good movies with a couple incredibly shitty ones. So to be fair, he is a better actor than Hulk Hogan. I'll give him that.
Bending the rules compared to Knucklehead.
Well, that would be like that John Cena's a better actor than a pile of shit.
Yeah, pretty much. He is Hulk Hogan does act about as well as a quadriplegic who climbs cargo nets. So that's kind of true. But
back to the match.
Yes, anyway. Cena gets the win. I don't really know. He sort of did his whole hulking up thing and got in his offense at the end. But I think 95% of the offense came from Lesnar. By all means, Lesnar should have won the match, but I think the reason that he didn't was they had to announce that Cena was going away and they wanted him to go out strong. So I can get that to an extent. But
I think if they were going to let Cena go out and let him have his break, write him off for a little while, whatever, Brock Lesnar should have won, taken out Cena, because it's like, I've taken out the Superman. I've taken out Superman. And then Brock Lesnar kind of rules until John Cena comes back. Then John Cena beats Brock Lesnar as revenge for putting him on the show.
They could have had Cena win the match, and then, without saying I'm going on vacation, have Lesnar just come out and just destroy him after the match, or destroy him tomorrow night on Raw. And then Cena's off TV for 3 months, whatever, however long he's off.
Yeah, I could see that happening too, but
that would be the only way Lesnar can get his heat back now, is to destroy Cena.
Or just maybe he'll come out and destroy the entire roster. Maybe just devote the entire show to him killing absolutely everything and everyone,
including the Divas.
Maybe have him go after CM Punk. Maybe that's where you go from here.
Maybe. I don't know how well they would work together for some reason. I don't know.
Well, there's only one way to find out.
To fucking do it.
Yeah, there you go. And honestly, it doesn't really matter how they'll... If it turns out to be a mistake, it turns out to be a mistake. Over the Limit's sort of a throwaway pay-per-view anyway.
Exactly.
And lesson learned. That's...
Or continue to do the match over and over and over again until we want to puke. All right, so we don't do star ratings here because star ratings are dumb. So I've been told.
Star ratings are for the upper echelon YouTubers.
So you're saying smart marks?
Yes.
Yeah.
Anybody who understands what the word echelon means.
Yeah, I know.
Because I don't even know what it means.
I think you just made a word up.
Or something along those lines.
Something.
So anyways, I thought Extreme Rules was a lot better than I thought it was going to be for a pay-per-view right after WrestleMania.
I was sort of expecting a better pay-per-view than WrestleMania out of Extreme Rules because it seems that's been the case for the past couple years, is that the wrong people go over at WrestleMania because some people need their WrestleMania moments and it has to be all contrived and everything. And then at Extreme Rules, the right people go back over. And I can only think of one exception here, and that was Sheamus, but it'll be interesting to see how they play out. But, that's one way to get me completely disinterested in the World Heavyweight title is to keep the belt on one of the worst faces in the company. But honestly, good show. I'm not gonna say it was terrible or anything. It was a very good show.
It had its disappointing moments, but I overall enjoyed it.
On an ending note, because myself the third just brought up the fact that this pay-per-view usually does better than Mania. What happened to WrestleMania being the end-all, be-all? Like, WrestleMania is either where feuds end, like you've had this fucking feud, and now it's the grandest stage of them all, and you finally, like, you fucking finish your business. And that's the end of it?
And then you go on to the next thing.
And then you go to the next thing. Or it's where someone gets screwed over, and then a feud begins. And it doesn't happen anymore. Now, WrestleMania is just another pay-per-view.
And you know what? It's because it's WrestleMania. It sells itself, basically. You don't need to do that. You don't even need to have decent storylines. If it's WrestleMania, people will buy it. You didn't even have a storyline with Rock Cena. All you had was hype and blowing smoke up people's asses. And that apparently is good enough to sell WrestleMania and make it one of the best-selling pay-per-views of all time. So,
He does have a point, because I have paid to go to Mania for the last, since 25, so that's saying something.
Yeah, I know I'm gonna pay my way up to Mania in New York, since it's only 2 hours away for me. But.
No!
Yeah, I'm gonna be there also.
No. WrestleMania is in New Jersey next year.
It's in Jersey, yeah.
I'm going to the closest relevant place, so New York.
WrestleMania itself is in Jersey. All the other aspects, like the Hall of Fame and Raw, will be in New York.
That made me mad.
I'm gonna book the East Rutherford Marriott. That's right. and try to go to New Jersey Transit to get my ass up to New York, where everything else that is relevant is.
Because
that happened.
What does New Jersey have? And what does New Jersey have that we don't all have? They got the Jersey Shore.
Mosquitoes.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry.
Toxic waste.
If they wanted it in New York, they should have had it in New York. They can't do this fucking bullshit. They did it at Mania, and it made me mad when they announced where it was going to be. They were like, look, it's in New York, New Jersey, and they showed only clips from New York. I'm like,
exactly.
No. I'm like, WrestleMania is in New Jersey. You show clips from New Jersey. You can't just lump New York into there.
What are they going to show in North Jersey? They going to show people... people being scumbags. They're gonna show.
I don't care.
Corruption.
No, they should have.
You're gonna show, Guidos in Seaside Heights and mosquitoes everywhere.
If that's what they had to do, if they wanted it in New York, they should have put it in New York. God damn it! It's not in New York. It's in New Jersey.
Well, they want to have it in an outdoor arena or outdoor arena. That's kind of a contradiction in itself, but in an outdoor stadium. So.
It's like if WrestleMania. It's like if they decided WrestleMania was going to be in Fort Worth, Texas. That's the best one I can think of. Best example I can think of. It's going to be in Fort Worth, Texas. But they don't show anything from Fort Worth, Texas. They show clips from Dallas, Texas, which is right next to Fort Worth. It's not in Dallas. It's in fucking Fort Worth. You show shit from Fort Worth. If you wanted it in Dallas, it should have been in fucking Dallas. And if you wanted it in New York, you should have put it in New York. Not in New Jersey.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, actually, technically the Statue of Liberty is in New Jersey.
Okay, then you can show clips of that. Actually, the Statue of Liberty is in New York, but the common grounds that are on Staten Island are in New Jersey.
There you go. Show clips of that, because that's what everyone goes to see.
Yeah.
Alright, this is now 40 minutes long, so I'm going to have to make this maybe a couple clips. Hopefully this will be up tomorrow, because I'm going to fucking bed.
I don't blame you. I'm about to do the same.
Again, myself the third, Crossfade Fan 20, Twitter down in the doobly-doo pants bar.
Ladies and gentlemen, also do not forget Kristen, the Black Cat Feline.
Yes, I have a Twitter too. Apparently, just the Black Cat Feline channel also has a Twitter that I forgot about. I'll have to figure out how to get back into that. Anyways, I'll put my Twitter account. I'll put their Twitter account. If Deidre wants me to put her Twitter account, I'll fucking put that up there, but I gotta ask her first. And that is it. Good night, everyone.
Adios.
Bye.